Hey guys, it's Hypercube, and today I'm going to show you how to solve the master Pyraminx. Alright, getting right into it. So here it is scrambled. And if you don't know how to solve a regular Pyraminx, I would highly recommend either getting one or going and checking out a tutorial just to get familiar with it. And it's also good if you have a Pyraminx with you, just because some of the cases on this cube are the same exact cases on the Pyraminx. So the first step in solving the master Pyraminx is solving the tips. They're super easy. So once you solve the tips, figure out which side is which. So like this side is the red side, and turn this one around. So now it might be a little daunting at first having all these pieces, but essentially there's only a couple different types of pieces. So there's these like corner pieces, or whatever you want to call them. They act just like a Pyraminx. Then you have these smaller pieces up here, and then you have what I call like the edge pieces in the middle. So the edge pieces, they work exactly the same way as a Pyraminx. So the first step is, so you see right here, you have this one solved. This blue and green edge solved. And how you know is, like this would be the center, same as this one. So you would have to solve like these middle green pieces. So this green piece and red needs to go over here. So turning basically two layers, you bring it up, bring it over and down, and then you just insert it the same way as on a regular Pyraminx. Like that. So that solved that one. So in this last one, this one's flipped. So I just take it out and then insert it again. So now I have the green face essentially solved. Well, I have like the edges, the middle edges solved. So now I would turn it around and I'd be on the last layer of the Pyraminx. And again, we're looking at like this yellow and red edge. We're looking at those pieces. We don't care about any other pieces, not even the very, very centers. So actually it's solved, which that's actually really rare, but you would actually get a last layer case from the Pyraminx, which I made a video on, the how to solve all 5 of the last layer cases for a Pyraminx. You will get one of those 5 cases. So like this case I'll show on the Pyraminx. So we have the exact same case right here, if you can visualize it. So it's that middle piece. You do the exact same algorithm, just turning these big layers. And I won't go into detail on how to solve all those cases. If you know how to solve a Pyraminx, you should know how to solve those cases. So that is the end of that step. So now, this is the most time-consuming part of the solve. Solving these smaller pieces. They all work exactly the same way. And it's similar to edge pairing on big cubes. So like this piece, what you have to do is figure out where the piece is and where it has to go. So this piece I know has to go down here. So I put the spot where it needs to go down here, and I rotate it, turn this big layer, rotate some random piece over, bring it back up, and rotate that center back where it needs to go, and then rotate this one back. So that solved that little piece. And you just do that for every one of the little edges. So I usually like to solve one complete like tip like that, and then I solve another, so then I'm down to the last 2 tips. So then all I have to do is, like this yellow and green, it just goes up to here, so I match it up, rotate a random piece over, and bring it down, and then just realign that tip. And just keep doing that until I get to the last few pieces. So I use this as one of the open spots. So whatever piece this is, I would solve this now. So this piece goes down here, rotate in a random piece. So then all I have is this red and blue. So I'd rotate it down, rotate this piece over, bring it up. And it might be a little tricky at first. I make it look kind of easy, but it just takes some fiddling around. So okay, so the last step of the Master Pyraminx is to solve the centers. So there's 2 cases you could get. You could get a case like this, where there's 3 unsolved and then 1 solved. And this is the trickier one. So I'll show this one first, and then I'll show the other one a little later. So what we have to do is, since the bottom one's solved, you want to ignore that for now. And you want to rotate it so that this yellow is on the yellow face. So it looks like this. So I got my Pyraminx to help show what this is. So this is basically the last layer case from the Pyraminx, where you have all 3 of them, and they just need to be basically rotated like that. So you just do this algorithm, which goes like this. You do that algorithm using the big layers. But then this little tip will be unsolved. So just realign it, and it's just the other case. And you do that algorithm. And then it'll solve that tip. And this will bring you to the other case. So there's going to be 2 adjacent pieces, and then 2 adjacent pieces. And all you have to do is hold it just like this and do basically a sexy move, which looks like this. And you just do that over and over. And that'll solve your Master Pyraminx.